Good morning, Dubai. How are you doing? Welcome back to the Lovin Daily, where I take you through the trending stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. We have a fantastic show coming up, I do think. We're talking about cars confiscated over noise disturbance. If this has annoyed you over the last couple of months, Dubai police are doing a lot about it. We're also talking about Dubai vaccinations. The entire fleet of Dubai taxi drivers have already been vaccinated, and how you can have the best view in the house for Dubai World Cup, which we think is spectatorless, but there's a way that you can actually get down there. So stay tuned.
Interesting, and we'll also be talking about a Dubai man who tried to leave DXB with a fake PCR test and an exotic dinner date at La Coco Restaurant, which is your best bet if you want a nice night out. So more about that as well, but first...
좋은 아침.
June Achim. That's like Korean for good morning. And that's my finger heart because now it's a thing.
Okay, so I'm so confused. I thought this was... Simran was trying to teach me it's a new sign. So like back in the day we would go
hold your
like,
thumb out first.
But first of all, before I do it, I want to know exactly what I do. I thought it was a new sign for like this.
Yeah, it is.
So it doesn't mean good morning.
No, it doesn't mean good morning. I just added the good morning in there.
So cultured. Go on, show me.
It's like take out your thumb and now your index finger.
Is this a common thing, by the way, or is someone ahead of the game here?
Yeah, they have emojis and GIFs on this now.
I have no doubt that this is going to be all over Instagram in a couple of weeks. So.
It is. When one of my friends did this to me a month ago, I'm just like, oh my God, you are so weird. But now it's catching on and it's becoming a thing, the finger heart.
You know how you start these things ironically? So, for example, for me, the word lol, like I would hear people say it and I'd be like, lol. And you start to say it ironically because it sounds so stupid and you can't speak in abbreviations. And then slowly it kind of infiltrates your vocabulary until you're saying it and everyone's like, and then you've started something and you're part of the problem. But this is cute.
I was just waiting until you finished. Okay, shut up.
Are we doing it right? I think it's so cute though. I like a new sign. Start the morning in a cute way.
And it's like a full-on K-pop thing. So all K-pop stars, all K-pop fans out there will just they'll know it. It's like their thing, the finger heart.
So hey, good morning, K-pop fans. Meant to shout out later in the show. We're going to be joined by Faham Al-Qasimi, who is basically someone who's very, very passionate about animals in the UAE. He rescued a baby turtle, actually a 20-year-old turtle, excuse me, and he's basically making awareness about pollution in the ocean. And we had him in studio this week, and we're going to have him on the show later. So stay tuned.
He's the best, and the work that he does is just amazing.
And it's so important to create awareness, and that was his mission by joining us in studio. So it was a really nice interview, so do stay tuned. But our first story, top story of the day, 1,091 cars have been confiscated, 1,097 cars have been confiscated for causing noise and disturbances in Dubai. So Dubai police are on a mission to stop noise pollution. And if you live anywhere near Main Road in Dubai, this has possibly affected you. They confiscated 1,097 vehicles for violating traffic laws, such as heavily modifying their cars with power boosters to increase the engine speed and causing nuisance and disturbances to residents. Has anyone noticed this? You hear loud cars on the road. Did you know that they were possibly modified? Did you know that they were possibly breaking the law? Have they ever disturbed you in the middle of the night? Because I know there are certain communities. I live near Al Khamiliya Street. And I've heard it, and I hear it at the weekends in particular. You hear it sometimes. Actually, I'm a heavy sleeper, but my partner's heard it late at night, 3, 4 a.m. They're up and down these streets, and Dubai police are on a mission to cut it out because they are loud and they're really annoying certain communities.
Yeah, they are annoying. It sounds cool. It's actually kind of, like I get why you would modify and put on that sound. It just sounds like, but it's
really. Do you think so?
No, but like later, if you're not sitting in the car, if you're not the one driving the car, then it's annoying.
Yeah, well, you can see the appeal for some people.
Yeah.
But personally, what would I think would be amazing is a totally soundless car. Like, where is that?
Tesla.
Tesla? Are they totally soundless?
Well, if you remove the option of the no sound, the sound thing that they have, it's completely silent.
Wow, the future.
Yeah, Tesla has like completely silent cars. It doesn't have an engine.
I'm just
So-
waiting for the day for them to become affordable because they're quite pricey. at the
Yeah,
moment.
that's true.
One
But I
day.
get for light sleepers and all, these kind of noises are so loud. It does affect, and especially and Murdiff as well, when you have planes going over you and then cars going on the road. It's like, when does the noise stop?
You have your eye patch on before you go to sleep. You have your earbuds in, and you just hope no one disturbs you until you get your good 7 or 8 hours. But if you are one of these people who's modifying their cars, take note. You could be done with 1,000 dirham fine. You could also be done for 1,000 dirham fine, 12 black points. There's a campaign by Dubai Police ongoing right now to cut out all of this kind of modifying behavior that's quite trendy among certain drivers. They did point out that it's young drivers, by the way. That's kind of the stereotype of people that they are catching on the roads, and that it's a trend. It's been going on. The traffic campaign has been ongoing since February 11th, but they're trying to cut it out. So take note if you know someone who's doing it. If you know someone who's got a really loud car, that it's probably breaking the law.
Yeah, so no need for modified exhausts and dual exhausts.
We'll love you more.
I threw in my car
See,
terminology.
it's happening.
Finger hearts. And moving on, a Dubai man tried to leave DXB with a fake PCR test. Now, recently it came to light that 2 individuals who forged a PCR test result are now awaiting trial. Now, the accused man was attempting to exit the UAE using a forged negative COVID-19 test result, and now the accused investor, so the man who was accused is an investor, Dubai investor, and the second culprit, an airline employee who helped him, are facing trial at the Dubai court. Now, the man presented an expired PCR test result upon check-in, after which he was asked by a member of the airline staff to provide a new report or SMS confirming a negative COVID-19 result. Now, according to the investigation report, the 32-year-old Asian man then returned 30 minutes later and handed over a printout of the same result after altering the date to issue to allow him to leave the country. And then the report was found to be fake, obviously, because he's coming back 30 minutes after you were told like that report doesn't
He was
work.
going to get away with that? Oh, the mind boggles.
And he's an investor, like, wow, how you got so smart. Anyway, so yeah, it was found to be fake, and the traveler then admitted to the authorities that the second accused, a 38-year-old airline employee, handed him the printout saying like, okay, this has been altered, you can travel without any diminutions. And yeah, now both the accused and the compatriot have been arrested and detained and are currently awaiting trial. Because duh. What else do you expect from this?
First of all, trying to leave the country with a fake PCR test. You always look at the desperation of the person who did it.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a reason they're trying to leave the country, but at the same time, these laws are in place for such an important reason. We can't travel right now. So many countries have strict, well, we can of course, but so many countries have strict, 14-day quarantine rules. This person is trying to bypass that. The fact that he went to an airport employee and managed to tempt or lure them, because obviously this was like a 30-minute job, right?
Yeah,
into breaking the law is astonishing. So I really feel for the second accused here, because I just am concerned about how they got kind of tempted into it. But like you said, it wasn't even that they had a paper forged from before.
Yeah,
it was done on the spot within 30 minutes. So,
but the thing is, like, since the beginning of COVID-19 and like the fact that tests became mandatory, you have to show a negative PCR test. Like, we've heard so many stories of people actually forging it and photoshopping their results. But why? Like this, like, it's a pandemic. You're putting other people at risk. You're putting yourself at risk. It's not worth it. And if you get caught, even if you don't get caught, you don't get the fine, you don't get the jail term. It's just immoral.
And Dubai police are on it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
2 steps ahead always.
2 steps ahead.
And there's also so many places that you can go and get tests.
Yeah, exactly. There are free places.
Accessible.
Within 6 hours, and you can get them to your house, and it's just so convenient.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
We'll move on to a different type of travel. The eligible fleet of Dubai taxi and bus drivers are now vaccinated. So we're talking about the fact that it's now eligible to all Dubai residents to go and get it. And rest assured, if you're taking Dubai taxi or Dubai bus, the entire eligible fleet are vaccinated. First eligible employees were alerted and encouraged to take the vaccine at specialist centres. Then the RTA and DHA created internal centres for all employees, and now 40,000 vaccination shots have been provided to various categories. That includes drivers, front-end staff, metro and tram operators, parking inspectors, and all employees along, I think this is really special and important, along with their interested family members. So it gives you a little peace of mind, and also the fact that I'm sure as employees of the RTA, I'm sure they really appreciated the benefit of when they set up these internal centres. And I know a lot of companies have done this in Dubai, the larger, bigger corporations obviously, they set up internal centres and have allowed you and your family to come and get vaccinations. So incredible, well done to the RTA for doing it. And also obviously if you're travelling in a taxi, you have that extra sense of protection.
Very true. It's happening. We're getting vaccinated. Mass immunity. Mass immunity.
We're so close, and we're seeing like in the last 1 or 2 weeks, the cases are finally, recoveries are inching more than new cases each day. Active cases are dropping every day, so we're getting there.
We are really doing so much better compared to so many other countries, just because of the precautions we ourselves as residents are taking and complying to. So I mean, it's a great thing, like initiative from the authorities as well as residents.
And it's nice to be able to bring the positive news, because we've had a year of, and talk about us talking about it, you guys have had to sit at home listening to this scary, constant COVID updates going through your Instagram feeds and stuff. So it's so nice to be able to bring the positive news every now and then.
Yes,
while we remember to, wash our hands, maintain social distance.
Exactly. And if you guys are washing your hands, maintaining a social distance, wearing a mask, it's totally safe in Dubai, especially to go out and have fun, meet your friends, but everything in moderation and in compliance with the regulations. So if you're looking for a really nice night out, La Coco Restaurant is your best bet this weekend or during the weekday. And if you guys are looking for an exotic yet chill evening out with the squad, then seriously pen down La Coco Restaurant, because it is just too cool. I just went there recently last Thursday, and it was a ball. The vibe, the place, the ambience, like everything was just amazing. Like you guys can see in the videos next to you, that's the footage we took. And the newly opened restaurant gives major Miami vibes and is located in Andaz, Dubai, the Palm. And oh, the vibe and the menu. So it's got American food with a Latin twist and amazing Instagrammy spots. And they have this egg chair. You can sit there and the pictures come out so nice. And it's like those proper influencer type shots.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, because Simran does lots of takeovers, but you actually look like you're just enjoying yourself. What was your favorite thing to eat?
The dessert. They had this rose milk cake. It's really tasty. Why are you laughing?
No.
Oh my god, actually, my best thing to eat there, they had this vegan meat.
American Latin cuisine.
Okay.
The dessert, that's your favorite.
Yeah, so that's my favorite thing. But anyway, they had this vegan steak. I kid you not. So Yana was with me, okay? And they told me it's a vegan steak. So I'm just like, I had a bite. I'm like, oh my god. Because I used to eat meat before. And it tasted just like meat. And I told Yana, oh, try it. It's really good. It's gluten-free. She had a bite and she's like, oh, that's a really nice steak. I'm like, it's vegan. And you just couldn't tell. Like, it was amazing. So tasty. Their vegan steak at La Coco Restaurant. So good.
Yeah, I just have to say I saw the Instagram stories. And usually I'm never inclined to go somewhere. But you made me want to go.
Yeah,
to go.
Same.
And Brendan, the waiter
That's
over
saying
there.
a lot there.
Oh, wow.
Ali doesn't leave his house for just nothing, Simran.
You got me a
Was it
Latin American cuisine.
Oh,
same.
You got me there.
Yeah.
not Brendan, the waiter who was serving us. He was a Broadway show.
He got moves.
Oh my god, he got moves.
Oh, before we move on, he does have moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does have moves. And if you were watching our Instagram stories, you'll see Simran did a floss off.
Floss off, yeah.
Floss off. And she asked people to vote. And I feel like when she asked people to vote, she expected to run away with the competition, but she did not.
No, I didn't win. I lost. But oh, guys, if you guys are planning,
Because he was better. He's so much better.
No.
Simmer like totally lost her rhythm halfway through, and she tried to like shake it out, and it just didn't work.
Okay, anyway, so if you guys are heading down or planning a night out, let me tell you about some of their offers.
I wish she. Oh, hold on. Sorry, she put all of these nice videos up. I can see them on Facebook now. If you're watching on Facebook, she didn't put the floss.
Obviously, I'm not gonna put the floss because I was better at it. But you guys are just jealous. You guys can't do it. But anyway,
the best video. It was there. Oh, I can. There's Brendan giving it sauce.
Brendan was the best. Shout out to Brents. I have you on Instagram. You're too cool. Anyway, you know he was okay. Moving on about the offers. Let me tell you guys about the offers really fast. So there's Loco Hour, Sunday to Saturday. Now 2 drinks and a bite. And as well as Ladies Night every Wednesday for 150 dirhams per lady with unlimited beverages. But you just need to make a reservation first because we are in a pandemic and they need to know if you're coming. So they can organize the tables accordingly. But yes, that is all from me about the Coco Restaurant. That place is the bomb.
Speaking of making reservations, guys, one of the biggest racing events in the UAE, in the world, one of the biggest racing purses is happening in Dubai this weekend. The Dubai World Cup is happening on Saturday. And it's very cool. You can actually watch it trackside. I'm sure you've heard people talking about it. We've said that it's spectatorless. However, take notes. The Meydan Hotel has a fab experience. The race viewing starts on Saturday, 3 p.m. And if you book a night stay, you can actually catch it all from your room, which will have a private balcony. You can catch all the action. So if you book your room, there's actually a special in-room dining package as well. So you'll get breakfast. So the room itself is 1,200 dirham, and you can add a special in-dining package onto that as well. However, they're only accepting bookings for the next 2 days. So if you want to see the Dubai World Cup, if you want to see it from an amazing hotel room, if you want to see it from a private balcony, you can do it, but you need to book it right now, and that's the Meydan Hotel, obviously, because that's the only one of the incredible views of the track in Dubai for the Dubai World Cup on Saturday.
That is an amazing price package. Amazing. I want to go.
Yeah, and most of the rooms have suites, and obviously you get like that dining package later on the day. The thing is, I would make a special occasion of this. Like, the races are meant to be something that you dress up. I would go pick my bestie or my bae or my mom, and I would put on a hat, and I would get it, and I would have the dining package, and I would enjoy myself from the balcony and just live my best life. And like, have safe, very safe.
Very safe, yeah.
Going around.
And Meydan is so bougie. Oh my god. Like, as soon as you walk in and those high-rise reception area, oh my god. Like,
can I get another bougie?
Bougie.
Can we hear you do it, Ali?
Bougie? I say bougie.
When has bougie moved on to bougie? How did I miss this?
I don't know. You said it. I said bougie.
No, you said bougie.
Okay, I don't know. I put it on a little bit of French in there.
There's no bougie.
Okay, whatever. That's all for our show.
Guys, on that note, Dubai World Cup this Saturday. If you want to get that special package at the Meydan Hotel, book it now, because the booking is only open for a very short, limited amount of time, and you know it's not going to last. Stay tuned. After the break, we're joined by Faham Al-Qasimi. I said the resident who's incredibly passionate, Emirati, is incredibly passionate about the environment that surrounds us. He just loves turtles as well. He has an incredible story that he was out free diving, and twice this has happened to him. He found a turtle 20 years old who was caught up in fish wires, and luckily he was able to pretty much save Farah's life. And this is his story. Stay tuned.
See the Skyline anymore? No. As an environmentalist?
Oh, I added that today.
Oh, did you? Oh, everybody keeps talking about.
Good shit. And we are back. Today we are joined by Faham Al-Qasimi. No, not here. Okay.
There we go.
And today we are back. We are joined by Faham Al-Qasimi, a diplomat, politician, and businessman, but also an environmentalist. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure.
I'm super excited about this conversation because as soon as you came in, you started talking about the video and the awareness that you're trying to spread. But can you tell us very briefly about this video that you shared and about how Pharah has become part of your life?
Indeed. Thanks so much for having me, and thank you so much for sharing the message. I think you guys are heroes in this story as well. We have very, very busy digital media these days, and every now and then something happens, and I felt at least that it was something I had to put out to the world. We were free diving a few weeks ago, some friends of mine and I, on a small little island in the Gulf called Sirbun Air, part of Sharjah. And while we were free diving, unfortunately, I spotted this turtle that was unfortunately not looking so well. When you're in the ocean, often you know not to approach animals in their home. So I kept my distance, but realized slowly but surely that she was struggling. So I swam down about 6-7 meters and realized that her right flipper was injured. So anyways, tried to hold her, and the fact that I could hold her meant that she was in trouble. Okay. Usually turtles will swim away. They're quite quick underwater. So anyways, I picked her up and brought her to the surface, but before I got to the surface, just a couple of meters before, I felt almost like a tug, and then realized that the fishing line was wrapped around her head and her right flipper. So luckily we free dive with knives, so I pulled out the knife and I cut it away and brought it to the surface, and then worked with my close friends of ocean lovers that were there on the trip with me, and we got her to safety. So we nursed her for about 24 hours until the environmental agency sent a boat, and then she was brought back to the UAE, to this side of the coast, and operated on. So just at the time, luckily we have smartphones. I could capture the experience, the horrific images, unfortunately, that I had to share to raise the awareness. But yeah, she's doing well. Alhamdulillah.
She is doing well. But you said you nursed her for 24 hours. I had no idea. What did that entail, and how were you prepared to nurse a turtle who was kind of in that condition?
Thanks for a good question. So it's a message that I think should be shared to a lot of people, because a lot of people don't know what to do when they find a sick turtle. We are so fortunate to be in the UAE. Here on the west coast, the National Aquarium in Abu Dhabi, Burj Al Arab, obviously here, where they have the Dubai Turtle Rehabilitation Center in Dubai. In Sharjah, we have the Sharjah Aquarium. On the east coast, we've got this new center coming up, the Mangrove Center, Al Gurm in Kalba, to also work with marine life conservation. A lot of people don't know what to do. It's very simple. If you find a sick turtle, call the authorities. There are environmental agencies on every part of our coastline. So call those respective agencies and just let them know. Some tips that everybody should know. Number one, find a tub, any sort of vessel, to put a little bit of salt water in, and then if you've got a towel, Pharah still has my towel, just to dip it in there to keep it moist, and then and then cover the shell to keep the shell covered or moist. And then the other thing is also just to know that the turtle can lift its head out of the water if it needs to breathe. Things not to do: don't try and remove barnacles. You will injure the turtle more than you'll do any good. Just make sure that don't try to feed them usually as well, and usually they can survive a period of time without food. A lot of people suddenly wonder what do turtles eat. The ones at Burj Al Arab really, really, really like calamari. Just fun facts that I found out as well. Yeah, they feed them pretty high quality squid.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. I've heard it's like a 5-star service for turtles, which obviously.
So that's the thing to do, and just look over them. With us with Farah, it was very much every few hours, just making sure she was still moving okay, that she could still lift her head, but she'd calmed down. I feel like personifying or giving her a bit of a character, but she did calm down eventually when she realized we were there to help. We cut away most of the fishing line, all of the fishing line, but unfortunately it left quite a horrific injury. So anyways, cut away the fishing line and then just made sure she was comfortable before the boat picked her up.
This is it, guys. It's a beautiful story, and I think she's recovering a little bit. Farah is a 20-year-old turtle that you rescued. And when we introduced at the start of the segment, I said an environmentalist, and you said you wouldn't classify yourself as an environmentalist, yet you were extremely passionate about raising awareness. And this is not the first turtle that you have saved and discovered. How common is it to see waste? And do you think it's kind of a serendipity moment that you found too, that you're now going to share the message even further?
Yeah, indeed. I think it's pretty shocking that for somebody that does spend a lot of his time in the water, it is shocking that in 2 encounters free diving we found sick turtles. The first one was caught by a dear friend and colleague, Sean Dennis, where he had found a juvenile turtle we named Tiago. We all have names.
Did you name Pharah, by the way?
I did name Farah, yes. My wife actually named Farah. She
Very
was
nice.
the one that, it's the Arabic word for joy. So,
Very cute.
This juvenile turtle that Sean had found on the East Coast, I was on the boat and he luckily got it to me in time so I could cut away a plastic bag that it was wrapped up in. Plastic looks a lot like jellyfish in the water, and turtles love eating jellyfish.
Oh, it's such a shame to hear.
So unfortunately, they can get mistaken and then caught up in it. So, anyways, long story short, 2 turtles in 9 months is a shocking statistic, but something that made me realize I think this is sort of calling me more than I'm asking for it, and decided that I would do as much as I can to help the cause and just help these animals that are just absolutely pristine in the water. I call them sort of the world's best free divers. They can hold their breath for hours on end.
This is the thing. They're majestic animals. They're beautiful. They can live to hundreds of years, if I'm not wrong.
Correct. Actually, in Jumeirah on the Seam, there's a turtle that they estimate is 100 years old.
That's so incredible. And like I said, there's an environment and ecosystem, and there's a lot of kind of marine conservation. But the story continues. So now Pharah got moved to the Burj Al Arab, where the 5-star rehabilitation service, and you got to visit that as well. What is that like? And I think people who've visited down by Jumeirah on the Seam, you can actually see some of the baby turtles, which is adorable. But what was it like for you when you visited and met Pharah again in real life?
Sort of seeing the turtle again was quite emotional. It brought back, the weekend and what had happened. But then when you see the amount of dedication and the hard work of the team there at the Dubai Turtle Rehabilitation Center, it just, it fills you with so much confidence in the fact that there are people doing this. Dr. Panos, the veterinarian that pro bono gives his time to the center to help. Yeah, he's a fantastic human being. For them to help out, and he conducted the operation. A lot of people don't know that Burj Al Arab was one of the first aquariums. I think the first aquarium in the UAE, and therefore because of that they had a lot of marine biologists, and that became the sort of center to rescue turtles, and that's why the turtle hospital, so to speak, is inside Burj Al Arab. And then the new pools at Jumeirah and Nassim are 5-star.
Yeah, they really are.
I've traveled the world, and I've been to remote parts of the world where there are turtle projects. One in the Maldives, for example, that I see, and even that at a 5-star resort, the turtles, forgive me, but they're in plastic tubs. These natural seawater filled lagoons in Jumeirah on the Seam, and the way that they take care of the turtles, it's 7-star.
7-star, sorry, not 5-star, 7-star. Where do you think your passion for protecting turtles comes from?
A strange one to ask. I think a fun fact that a lot of people may not realize, I was scared of the ocean until I was in my early teens. And then it was actually surfing that got me into the water first. Surfing and sailing. The sort of ocean crew that are out there saving turtles, not just me. There's some great friends that help me out. Scott Chambers and we started the surf house together with a few other friends.
Oh, surf house down on Jumeirah Beach Road.
John Jumeirah Beach Road, yeah. So Scott, Daniel Van Doren and I, we started that business, and that's a very ocean-minded community that we have there. And then from that, we got into free diving together. We saw what was happening to our oceans, and then Sean Dennis and I started a company called Seafood Souk, that's sustainable trading of fish. So we ended up sort of turning our passion into our work, and our work into our passion at the same time.
Amazing.
And just the more time you spend in the ocean here, a lot of people don't know how fantastically diverse that ocean environment is. And while at the surface it all looks blue, you just take one peek underneath, you'll be astounded by the amount of sea life that we've got in the Emirates and how much can actually be experienced. So just encourage everybody to get in the water a bit more.
100%. And that's something we really want to highlight more, is the incredible environment that we are surrounded by here in the UAE. But one thing, we'll see beautiful images of turtles now, but one thing that I really want to highlight is before the show you talked about, it was a really kind of difficult position that Pharah was in when you found her. And it would be very startling to some to see the images of just an animal in complete distress. And I think those are the images that would kind of push people into action. You saw it firsthand. And I also saw a tweet on your page. You said, "I've always loved turtles, but in the last 9 months, after 2 rescues, I have realized that there's a lot more I can do to help." Is there anything on the horizon for you in terms of how you want to spread more awareness?
There are a few things that we're planning. We're so fortunate that we're in the UAE. The individual entities in the Emirates are working so hard on their coastlines. I think that the project could perhaps entail something at a more federal level, so to speak, across the UAE. I think tracking turtles is something that's extremely interesting to monitor. We don't know as much as we could know about turtles, where they breed. Turtles hatch on a beach, travel thousands of kilometers around the world, and then return to nest on the same beach they were born in. That, for me, is just astounding. That happens at Sir Bun Air in Sharjah, that happens on the East Coast in Kelba, that happens in Abu Dhabi on Saadiyat Island.
Wow, so that's where the nesting happens, and we have no idea how far they go.
So one example, the second fastest or second longest distance traveled by a turtle was actually a turtle that was released at the Dubai Turtle Rehabilitation Center from Burj Al Arab, and it traveled, don't hold me to the figure, 4,600 kilometers to Thailand.
Wow.
Until the tracker ended up, trackers stopped working after a while, and that's how far a turtle can swim.
It got.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's so incredible. I won't lie, my knowledge from turtles does mainly come from Finding Nemo, so I know they enter slipstreams. But they're fascinating creatures, and I think, especially like the environment in general here is so kind of fascinating to everyone, so it's incredible to share the message.
No, indeed. I tell everybody that, we're so blessed to be in this part of the world. There are some gorgeous coastlines that are, a hop, skip, and jump away on a plane. And, forgive me for being so blunt about it, but I know a lot of people that will jump for a quick weekend away to the Maldives to go swim with turtles. I do that every weekend in Horfakan. So it is only, less than an hour and a half drive away, and you can get in the water there, and I see them all the time. I see them healthy. When you swim with turtles for the first time, you'll understand where the obsession comes from and how majestic they are in the water.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
That was Fahim Al-Qasimi, who was sharing kind of a message to us all about pollution, plastic waste in the sea. There's too much of it. We want to see a lot less. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys for covering this. I really appreciate it.
Guys,